Hey guys, it's Amy with aim.to.plan, and today I'm going to be organizing part of my washi collection. So, I have been trying to clean up my planner space, and one of the things that I've just kind of been putting to the side and trying to deal with later is all of these kind of like washi samples that I've collected over the years. And so I decided to finally just do something about it. And so I've got a couple of projects or supplies for this project. The first thing I have here is a binding cover. I'll link this below so you can get this for yourself. But then I also have a pair of scissors, my ruler, a Sharpie marker, and then my corner rounder. And I also brought my planner, which is not really necessary, but I wanted to go ahead and show you just kind of from start to finish how I make one of the washi boards. So what I decided to do is just to show you my previous system. What I had before was these kind of scraps, leftover scraps from some poly folders that I got from the Dollar Tree. My sister and I basically cut out like a section here and just wrapped washi on the inside, and then would just put this into the planner like this. And that worked actually really well, and I really liked that, except once you start putting several, it starts bulking up right on this side against the rings. And so I wanted to try to figure out a different system that would work a little bit better. So what I decided to do was basically take this binding cover, and what I'm going to do is create strips that run this way, that's pretty much it. So what I'm gonna do is start off with getting my ruler, and what I'm gonna do is try to make the washi board that I'm creating about 3 rings in width. So it'll be a set of washi boards to here, here, and here. So it will be 3 across. Sorry, like 3 rows of them. And so I needed to just go ahead and measure how much space in between. And one of the things I want to do is to make sure I'm not overlapping the boards in between the rings. And so I want to make sure that, one, I can punch onto all 3 rings, but then also that I'm leaving enough space so that way there's a little bit of a gap between the boards here. So I'm thinking it'll be like 2.5 inches for each board. And so I'm gonna just actually cut out one board here just so you can see what it looks like. And so we'll cut out one board together here, but then what I'm gonna do is just go off camera and just cut all the rest of the boards and go from there. So I did bring the scissors for this just to show you that you can do this by hand, but I have a guillotine, like one of those industrial kind of cutters that you can just pop off the what am I trying to say? Like basically cut off, like just guillotine it. I don't know, like just trim paper fairly easily. And I need a larger straight edge. So what I'm gonna do is use the side here of the cover, and it will probably leave a little bit of a Sharpie edge, like it'll turn black, but I can just use an alcohol wipe and wipe it down later. So that's what I'm gonna do, is just draw a line here, and I will cut that. And again, it leaves this black mark, but I'll just use alcohol wipe to wipe that down later. All right, and then the other thing I forgot to do is to measure it 7 inches this way, just so it could be 7 inches. And so instead of using a sheet of paper, not a sheet of paper, the ruler for that, I'm just going to take a sheet of paper, and I'll just draw the line here. And then again, I'm just going to cut it by hand for just this one board, but the rest of them I will cut out with a guillotine. But again, this is fairly simple. Now, as I'm cutting this out, I'll just go ahead and let you know that I am using these binding covers just because I have so many extra of them, and I'm trying to find different projects for them. But you certainly can use any kind of other sturdy material that you can find. A couple of things that I would recommend is, if you don't have anything just kind of lying around that you can use, you can certainly go to the Dollar Tree or some other dollar store and purchase the poly folders and use those to make this project. Again, these scraps right here are like the bottom of them, and I cut the rest of them out as folders. But you can certainly use the entire folder and just cut out strips as you need to for this project. And then you could also use like the little leftover plastic pieces that you get from like Happy Planner packaging, and just cut them down to size and do this with. And I'm trying to think, I mean, those are the two that I kind of think of, but you can also just use like random boxes that you have lying around, whatever, you know, so there are lots of different options for you. So I've cut out the first washi board here, and then what I'm going to do is use my corner rounder and just kind of round these edges. And actually, one of the things as I was preparing for this project that I noticed is that if I round these edges, it might kind of cut into the discs, but I think that's okay. So what I'm going to do now is actually punch this. I forgot to bring my punch, but I'll punch it. Well, I will punch it, and I'll do that off camera, but I'll just show you what this looks like in terms of putting the washi on there, and it's very simple. So I'll leave enough room on the edge, so that way the washi can kind of like, there'll be enough room for the rings here. I mean, sorry, for the hole punch. But what I'm going to do is just start wrapping the washi around it. Right, and you can see I have a gigantic mess here. So what I'm going to do is do most of this off camera. I'm actually going to wrap this one, punch it, clear off the Sharpie marks here, and I'll come back afterwards. All right, so see you then. Okay, I'm down to the final one that I'm going to be putting on the washi board. And this was actually probably a full washi roll. It's just a smaller diameter compared to like a regular washi, like the size of it, and so I think it'll just be easier to use on the washi board. But you can see it's like a whole, like, very thick layers. It's not just a sample that I'm putting around here, so that'll be helpful for me. We'll just see how it works in terms of if it fits on the discs, right? So you can see here I went ahead and cut out the other 4 boards. I was able to get 4 from the one binding cover that I was using earlier, and I did get rid of the Sharpie tape line marked around here. One thing that I did have to change from the before side of this video is I had to trim down this edge right here. I couldn't use the Happy Planner punch, and so I had to use my arc punch to punch out the holes, and so I trimmed it down just a little bit, so that way it would still fit into the classic size notebook, and not like hang out, be like a little bit wider than the papers. So I did that, which means that I lost the corner rounding that I did for this. Well, it's actually this other one. So that's fine. I'll just leave it at that. Since it's going to be sitting on the disc, I think it'll be okay. And I've already like kind of stabbed myself a couple of times with it, but it should be okay. And so this is what I finished. I still have all of these left, but I am leaving them for right now because I was trying to get them to be kind of, you know, coordinated in terms of color. And I don't know. I was trying to coordinate them, like here are all the greens and blues, and here's some reds and pinks. But then I noticed this probably could move over here, and this rainbow one is throwing me off. So I probably will fix it. So that's why I'm just taking a pause right now, just to kind of reassess what this looks like. And before I get too far, I guess I should test it out to see if it fits into a Happy Planner. So I have my Happy Planner right here, and I'm just flipping to a random section that I feel like I could get some access to the rings. And what I'm thinking is it will just snap in here, and it'll be the first third, the middle third, and then this last third right here, and it'll just go like this. I'll just put this here. Now I know you probably can't see it with the pattern, so this is what it looks like this, right? And so that's pretty awesome. I really love that. That's actually really beautiful. Now I'll probably depending on how many of these boards I make and like how motivated I am, I'll probably put the washi into its own book, which will be really, really awesome just to have like a washi book that I can kind of carry around with me, just with like samples or like, you know, just some of these extra rolls that wouldn't fit into my primary washi storage system. And it's a good chance for me to kind of coordinate, like maybe every month I can just make a board for the month with some washi samples and I can use from there rather than carrying the entire washi system that I have, which is like one of the gigantic washi storage boxes that I got from Michael's. And so this will be much more convenient and much more portable. So I really, really love that. That's really awesome. And I think it works well because you can see the gap here. There's plenty of space here between. And so that's perfect in terms of flipping. All right. And with 3, I feel like it's pretty stabilized. I probably would not do 2, like just punching it so it's skinnier and onto 1, because then once you start wrapping, you're going to be wrapping on a much skinnier scale, and so it'll be a little thicker all the way around. And so this I think is a good width, and this is perfect because it doesn't overhang the paper over here. There's enough of a gap here so that way if there are like thicker sections, they won't start bumping into each other. And with the 3 discs, I feel like it's fairly stable. It still wiggles a little bit, as you can see here, but it's not too bad. And so I think that's totally doable. And again, I'll probably finish out all of these, find some more binding covers, or actually I have more binding covers, just go ahead and cut down some more and wrap these onto these new discs. One of the things I was thinking as I was doing it is I could just cut these down, like trim off this edge and just punch it in and put it in there. But since I already started, I want it to be at least cohesive and look the same. So I'm going to be using these boards and transferring these over. And so that's my latest project. I'm really excited about it. It'll probably be in its own book. I'm just putting it in here just for the sake of the video, but it will go into its own book and I'll just have like a little book of all my washis. Oh, how exciting. I'm really, really excited about that. So that's my project for this week. I hope you enjoyed this small craft project for my planner. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy all of my videos, please hit that subscribe button so you can follow along and see the future videos that I will be releasing. And until the next one, bye.